Hi everyone. Today we're just gonna do a little chit-chatty, get ready with me sort of. Have nothing planned currently. I might run to the grocery store in a little bit for dinner, but that's about it. So I've already prepped my face. I've done my skincare and I did some eye primer as well, and I did my brows. So let's just get into it. I haven't quite decided what look I'm going for today, but I think I want some glitter, maybe a fun pop of color. So this week was the summer solstice and I had a lot of fun creating that video for everyone. It's kind of a different vibe than what we had been producing in the past. I think I'm just gonna go for a little sort of a dark blue wing action. So this past week on Saturday, I did have to work. For those of you that don't know, yes, I'm a professional makeup artist. And I do weddings. I was an assistant for a little bit, but I had some stuff come up and I wasn't able to have the availability anymore. But now I am currently doing weddings. I had one really close to me, which was so nice. The weddings that I've done in the past were actually pretty far away, so it was really nice to get a job that was very close. I think I ended up driving only like 12 minutes. It was delightful. But I got to work with my friend Jen, which I was very excited about. I went to school out here actually. I went to makeup designery out in Burbank about, gosh, like 11 years ago. It was a very long time ago. But which is how I met Jen. We went to school together and we've been friends ever since. So when she found out I was moving down here, she was very excited. So Saturday, after I got done with work, my husband and I didn't do too much that day. But Sunday, I was very excited because we decided to go to the bookstore. For those of you that don't know, I do really like to read. I'm really into mostly like speculative horror, just like creepy vibes, but I do like fantasy sometimes, and occasionally I'll read like a romance, but those are pretty rare. Oh, well right now I'm actually just using the Blend Bunny palette, just using a lot of these like neutral shades. Ooh, nope, on the bottom here. I really want to take the time to kind of carve out my like inner crease area. Just using some mid-tone browns right now. We live so close to the airport and you can hear planes all the time. Now I'm just gonna dip into Moira Lucent Cream Shadow in Jupiter. It's like a really pretty like duochrome. I do not know if the camera's gonna be able to pick this up. There we go. So for the most part, work has been good, but freelancing out here has been kind of sporadic. I've done a couple of trade shoots out here, but building your name when you move to a new city is pretty difficult. It has its ups and its downs, but I'm enjoying it so far. So we went to 2 different bookstores on Sunday. I hope this is interesting for you guys because I am obsessed with books right now. I have been on like Booktube, like a kick on Booktube for, I mean, at least the past like month. But I've always been into books, at least for the past couple of years. But the first one we went to was this place called Lost Books in Glendale, and it has like the most beautiful like entryway. There's like tons of plants everywhere, and it's so like green and lush and gorgeous. They even have live birds inside, which is so cool. But I believe it is a used bookstore, so if you go in there looking for a specific title, chances are you will not find it. I heard a ton of people at the information desk looking for specific books, and they did not have any copies of them. I mean, I kind of like that about used bookstores, though. You always look for new gems, but you really can't go in there looking for something specific. So the second place we went to was called Vromans in Pasadena, I believe, which was really cool. It was kind of like Barnes & Noble's, but kind of more intimate, I would say, than Barnes & Noble's. They had these really cool sections in the kids section for like different types of books for kids. They had like a pirate one, a mermaid one, and I think it was like a ghost, like supernatural one. It was really cool. If you live in the LA area, you should go check out Vromans. It was really, really cool. I think that was probably my favorite one that we got to go see. So I have been on a big dark academia kick recently for books. And I'm actually reading like the dark academia book. It's called The Secret History by Donna Tartt. And I've been reading it for about a week now. And I'm finally on chapter 5. And oh my god, it's getting so good right now. Because there's kind of been, I wouldn't say a lull in the book, but it's really just been setting stuff up. And finally, we are coming to the juicy part. While we were at Lost Books, I picked up 2 books. And then at Vromans, I think I picked up another 4. I'll make sure to do a little haul at the end so you can see what I picked up. I don't know about you, but I get so much excitement going into bookstores. I used to love going to bookstores, libraries, even thrift stores just to check out what kind of books they had. Oh, by the way, I'm using Nars. What is this? Light Reflecting Foundation. This is in the shade Punjab. I really like this foundation. It's been a pretty good match for my skin tone right now. The weather's been so like on and off recently. We've totally had like June gloom in LA. But yesterday I think I got up to like 80. And then today I think it's back to like 70 something. Like low 70s. Just going in with my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Cafe Au Lait. I've actually been looking into getting a new hairstylist as well. My hairstylist from the Bay Area, obviously I cannot go to her anymore. And I've been really wanting to cut my hair dramatically because this is just, I don't know if you can see, it's very long. It's gorgeous and I love my hair and I'm very attached to it, but it's so long and it takes so much product to maintain it. But it looks nice today. I did the brush styling technique with the Gaiman brush, and then you form the curls by kind of wrapping it around the brush. If you have curly hair, you know what I mean. Just going in with my bronzer, the Nye Cream Stick in Olive 10. If you can tell from my previous videos, I use kind of the same products over and over again. I like trying new products, but you just gotta get out the door. You want to use your old trusty faithfuls. Oh, it's bringing me back to life. So my sister and I started a little book club. We only read one book so far. We read The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, which was really good. I definitely rated it a 4-star, but everyone is obsessed with this book, and I thought it was really good. But I don't know if it's just because I knew what was going to happen at the end of the book that I didn't find it as sad that a lot of other people feel. Like, my sister told me that she read the last 40 pages before she went into work, and then it ruined her when she went into work, and she said her face was all sad and cried out, and I was like, oh my, I didn't even cry. It was good. I thought it was a beautiful story. I liked how they weaved the story into a love story. I enjoyed that a lot, but maybe just because I knew what was coming, that I wasn't emotionally invested or surprised, because I watched Troy when I was in high school, I think, probably even younger. So when I was in high school, we actually read the Iliad and parts of the Odyssey in my English class, so I was already familiar with the story of Achilles and Hector, so I wasn't surprised by it, and maybe that's why I didn't cry, but I was expecting to. Everyone talks about how sad this book is and how beautiful it is, which it is. It's beautiful, but this girl who is normally very emotional did not cry at all. I was very surprised. I'm a giant crybaby, so the fact that I didn't cry, I don't know. Now I'm just going in with MAC's Glow Play Blush in No Shame. Just bringing that up really high to kind of bring my cheekbones up. I am a blush fanatic, so I put it on usually all over. And I like to bring it up really close, right underneath the eye. I think so many people are used to the technique of smiling and then applying blush to the apple of the cheek, but whenever I smile and then I stop smiling, it actually droops down, which is pulling my face down. So we want to lift the face. If you have a cat, do you have a chatty cat? Because my cat will talk all day long. So when he was a kitten, we would feed him these late night dinners, and I don't even think he's hit 2 yet, so we still feed him those late night dinners around 10:30, and oh, so loud. So anyways, we feed him these dinners around 10:30, and he will sing such a loud song basically when we're about to feed him. It is, I feel like our neighbors can hear it. I'm convinced they can, at least. Last but not least, let's move on to some lippies. I'm using Wherever Walnut by Makeup Forever. I don't want too harsh of a lip line, so I'm just gonna kind of blend this out with my finger. And I'm gonna top it with Forget the Filler by Lawless, just their gloss. Oh, cute. And here's the final look. But wait, there's a haul. So, you can tell there's going to be a running theme as to the books I got, which I didn't mean to do this, but it just kind of happened. So first, I got Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I'm not a lover of this cover. That rhymed. But I'm excited about this one. So I ended up going on a Neil Gaiman kick, mainly because my husband and I watched Good Omens, because I thought the second season was already out, but I was wrong. So now I'm like unhinged and waiting for the second season to come out, and I am obsessed. And then the second book I got was Sandman, also by Neil Gaiman, his graphic novel, which I loved. The Sandman series on Netflix. It was so good. And also I can't wait for that second season to come out as well. And then I got those at Lost Books. And then the other ones I got were from Vromans. So I ended up getting The Ocean at the End of the Lane, also by Neil Gaiman. And how cool is this cover, by the way? Ah, so cool. And then the last Neil Gaiman book I got was actually The Graveyard Book. And I had already read this. I just really wanted my own copy of it. Ooh, focus. No, here. There we go. So I've already read this, but it was such a good book. Like, the way he wrote, because I think this is supposed to be actually a children's book. The way he wrote this was like so magical and almost like a fairy tale. It was so good. So if you haven't read this one, if you're gonna read any Neil Gaiman, read this one. It was so good. And then you can tell I was in the children's section for too long because I got Escape to Witch City by Latimer. And this one is Emmeline Black has a secret. She can hear the rhythm of heartbeats, not just her own, but others too. So it's about a little girl who's a witch, and she's scared other people are gonna find out. Oh, this looks so cute. And then my last book I got is by Sara Pennypacker. It's Pax Journey Home. This is the second book in the Pax series, and the first one wrecked me. It was such a good book. I remember coming home because I was listening to the audiobook in the car, and I came back to my apartment in Oakland, and I was bawling my eyes out. It was such a good book, and I have a feeling this is just gonna be like ruin me just as much. Anyways, that was my haul, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next one.